The rebound summer, we look at the latest real estate numbers and what the future holds for different parts of Canada. Also, how one century-old Toronto home went way over asking price. I'm Affan Chowdhry. Welcome to Globe Now. The latest numbers paint a telling picture. The Canadian real estate market is experiencing a solid bounce back. Remember, the numbers were pretty sluggish over the winter. But check out the latest figures from the Canadian Real Estate Association. Home sales up 7.2% compared to a year ago. Average sale price also up 5%. Well, let's take a closer look at these numbers with our real estate reporter, Tara Perkins. Welcome, Tara.
Thanks for having me.
How much can we say with confidence that this rebound is sustained and firm?
We've absolutely rebounded from the slow winter that you mentioned. Sales up until July of this year are now more than 4% above where they were last year. So we're now about in line with the 10-year average, but the 10-year average goes back to a point in time when sales were much higher than they've been in recent years when the government has taken some steps to cool the market, right? So we are high for given our regulatory environment and everything else that we have in place now, it is high and it is showing momentum.
And it's worth pointing out that in all of this, it's mortgage rates. That's a big part of the story.
Absolutely. If you rewind back to January, economists had all been expecting mortgage rates to go up a fairly significant clip this year, but they haven't. They've actually fallen, and that's exactly what's driving much of the market right now.
Now, the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation released its new forecast this week. You know, what are some of the regions that have a bright future?
Well, it's interesting. Even since its forecast that it released in May, so just a few months later, it's boosted its outlook, especially for Ontario and Alberta. Ontario, there was an interesting element in that they said they're expecting less migration west, and that's because Ontario's job market is faring pretty well right now. Atlantic Canada, kind of the opposite. They're expecting it to soften. That's because of a sluggish economy and outward migration.
Okay, let's talk about the autumn. I mean, we're talking about the summer and the firm rebound. What can we expect in the autumn?
It's back to mortgage rates, right? It's back to what mortgage rates do because those are so key right now. A lot of economists expect them to still tick up by the end of the year, maybe get back to where they were at the start of the year before they started to fall, and then to tick up again more next year by, say, as much as 90 basis points next year. That's not a huge increase, but it would be enough to take a little bit of the momentum out of the market. The other factor is we've got more supply coming online in much of the country, especially markets like Toronto's condo market, but in much of the country, more supply coming online, so that too might take some steam out of the market.
Interesting. Thank you so much, Tara.
Thank you.
Well, we want to hear from you. How do the latest real estate numbers influence whether you'll be thinking about putting your house on the market anytime soon, or perhaps stepping into the market to buy? Tweet us at Globe Now. Staying with real estate, is the Toronto market returning to its red-hot ways? Well, here's a story about a century-old home that was listed at 6 figures. What it sold for is another story. Take a look.
We are at 208 Major Street in the South Annex. We are a 7-minute walk from Kensington Market. We are a 5-minute walk from the crux of 2 subways. We are a 5-minute walk from Bloor Street. When you walk into the house, you see what looks like an old farmhouse. Beautiful Victorian features. You've got 10-foot ceiling height. You've got a house that flows out into the backyard area, so you're in the middle of the city and you have green grass. It is a 5-bedroom home on 3 levels, all finished. And because the home is over 130 years old, renovations have been done over the years. The kitchen has been done, the bathrooms have been done, the wiring and the plumbing. So it is a home that is 100% safe to live in. On the 3rd floor, there's a master suite. There's a balcony out there, so you can take your morning cappuccino out. There's a huge sleeping area and an ensuite 5-piece. This particular house, it's east-facing orientation. You get wonderful morning light and wonderful afternoon light.
Our marketing strategy was to create as much excitement as possible around this house. Over 150 people came through this house. The listing price of this house was $995, and the selling price was, you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.89.
Well, that's all for today's show. If you've got a moment, hop onto Twitter. What story in your community sums up the real estate market where you are? Tweet us at Globe Now. I'm Affan Chowdhry. Thanks for watching.